Welcome back, people, to No Decorum. I'm AJ.
I'm ready.
And today we're going to talk about Ben Shapiro again.
Our old friend.
Yeah. He seems to be keep coming up in our conversation. So
Yeah. He worms his way into our conversation somehow. Okay. So he had Condoleezza Rice on marking the 20th anniversary of 9/11.
Yeah, so he brought the war criminal.
Well, yeah. No, well, not prosecuted, but still. Not convicted, but...
No.
Alleged. So former Secretary of State under George W. Bush.
Yeah, what was her title? National Security Advisor, I think.
Is that what it was?
I think she was an advisor. She wasn't appointed to anything.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my mistake.
Yeah.
To edit that one out.
She was
Yeah, I think you're right.
more like the fabricator
Ooh.
advisor.
That's
What'd she say? You don't want a mushroom cloud over Atlanta or
something like
Chicago.
that. I mean, we don't.
I don't want it over Chicago for sure. I mean, I like Chicago pizza.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we need to maintain that. So what were they discussing?
So they were sort of reflecting on what happened last 20 years. What happened on 9/11? What was it like on 9/12 and 13?
We are now in 2021. Now, I was, I believe, 17 years old in 2001. It's been half a generation. A huge number of Americans not only don't remember 9/11, they weren't alive for 9/11. And so there seems to be this sort of counterfactual assumption that no matter what we did post 9/11, we were bound not to have another terror attack. And because there was no further severe terror attack on American soil, a spectacular attack like 9/11, there's an assumption that no matter what we did, it was never going to happen. And we may very well see the results of that sort of thinking in exactly the same way that we saw the results of that sort of thinking on 9/11, given the fact that you have the presidents of the United States right now saying that Al-Qaeda was not in Afghanistan and we had routed them out. They are right back in Afghanistan. The Haqqani network, which is Al-Qaeda associated, was helping to, quote unquote, handle security at the Kabul International Airport. And you have ISIS, which is obviously extraordinarily active over there. Are we experiencing a similar national failure of imagination like we saw in the late 90s?
We certainly are experiencing some forgetfulness about what happened on September 11th and what transpired after it. I hear a lot about the mistakes that we made, that the Obama administration made, the Trump administration made. In 20 years, we made some mistakes. But in an enterprise this tough, this difficult, you're going to make some mistakes. What we did achieve, though, was despite all of the mistakes, beside missteps, maybe there were other ways to do things, but we achieved what I did not think possible on September 12th, which was not another attack. It was so frightening after 9/11. We had streams of intelligence talking about radiological attacks on Washington, D.C., smallpox attacks on the country, constant threats of another attack. It really wasn't until we captured Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who was the 9/11 planner. He was the sort of field general for North America, that we had a sense of what they might have been planning and were able to begin to act on it. It wasn't until we were able to take out some of these nests to work with the world, actually, to trace their financing in ways that led us to some of their people. And so what this bought us was an opportunity to really do the hard work of counterterrorism. I remember, Ben, at the president's speech to the Congress, the joint session of Congress, he said that this fight on terrorism will be in place long after I'm gone and many of my successors. And we lost patience because perhaps we forgot what it was like on September 12th and 13th and 14th, when it was terrifying to go onto an airplane, when it was terrifying to go into the center of New York City, when we worried that the anthrax attacks were actually foreign attacks. Yes, I think we have a bit of amnesia, and I can't blame, my students here at Stanford who weren't even conscious on September 11th. But I surely don't understand how those who were in the Congress, in the Senate, those who were in positions of authority at that time, how they've forgotten. That I can't forgive.
The fear.
And and as what kind of decisions they had to make, and what they have done in the last 20 years. Not just her. I mean, the past administration, Obama and Trump and Biden put together.
Right.
Round out the top four.
Right. And so they're discussing, the measure they took, how people felt afterwards, and the mistakes that were made, some of the mistakes that were made, and of course giving one side of the story.
Of course, I mean it's only on one sided. She's obviously blaming Biden for losing Afghanistan.
Yeah, but it was already lost the moment we went in.
I mean, it was the loss the day they decided to go.
Yeah.
It just took 20 years to realize that.
Sure. Yep.
There was no winning. We have seen it over and over. I think British were the first ones go there. They lost.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was the Soviets.
They were run out. So
and then it's us. So they have defeated 3 superpowers.
We don't learn the lessons.
Great Britain is not Great Britain anymore if you take out Ireland. So what happened to them after that? Soviets no longer exist.
No.
So I don't know about the United States.
What happened to us, right?
Yeah. Are we gonna be United States of America?
We don't know. Time will tell.
Well, if it's up to Trump people.
Well, yeah, clearly.
It would be Northern America and Southern America.
Oh, for God's sake. Well, anyways, so she talked about, our credibility. If we leave Afghanistan, can the Taiwanese trust us to defend against China?
Yeah.
Can the Ukrainians trust us to defend against Russia? And what did she say? What did she say about credibility?
Are they gonna?
There's something else she said. Anyways.
Yeah, that we abandoned Afghanistan. So are they gonna think that we're gonna come for their protection?
Yeah. Well, she said it's not like either you have it or you don't. She's saying can't, it's not piece by piece. So if you don't have it in one place, you don't have it at all.
Yeah.
So you have to basically stand by your word. But the problem is that she wanted to remain in Afghanistan, and to what end? It's never stated what the actual end is. I mean, you're going to kill all the Taliban? Everybody? I mean, what are you going to restructure the entire society to suit your needs? I mean, how long would that take? How many more trillions of dollars?
I mean, it's Taliban are not like wearing uniform like as Nazis were.
Yeah.
Taliban are people, which is they're Pashtun part of the population. It's just like in the United States we have northern areas, northern states, and then we have southern states, and these are all Americans, but they're different.
Sure.
And Afghanistan is the same way. So these people are not. They're not wearing uniform. They're not showing, where they're living. So it's not that you're going to be able to eradicate, exterminate basically.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to change their mind by bombing them, because this is what they want to do. This is how they want to live their life.
Sure.
Same thing is going to happen if, here, if they decide to show up here in our backyard, and they're going to say, hey, we want you to all wear burqas now, and nobody's going to listen to rock music.
I mean, some of the conservatives might like that here.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Well,
who knows? But
yeah, I mean, what Tim Pool say? This is what we have in common with them.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So we maybe fighting the wrong war or something like that.
It's also certainly there's some sympathy on the right for the Taliban.
Yep. So she was talking about, the things that they have accomplished, and which is not true. I mean, there was a day, 9/10. They could have done something about it. They didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were warned.
Yeah. They had the information. They kept it secret. They didn't do anything. And then on 9/11, they realized that, we're sitting on this important memo right here.
Yeah, great. Too little, too late.
Yep.
That's right.
And she went through all the things they have done in last 20 years, how they have kept Americans safe. Well, there was one day that we were not safe, and it was on your watch.
Well, that's the one caveat you got to put.
Yeah.
They always say, hey, Bush kept us safe after 9/11.
After 9/11.
Okay. Well, that's a pretty big caveat there.
Yeah.
But
Ben Shapiro, he's going along with her not pushing back.
No.
Because she's his lady. I mean,
yeah,
that's on his side. Everything they do is the right thing to do.
Of course.
So he's not pushing back at all.
And he can attack Muslims.
Yeah.
Which he seems to enjoy doing.
Of course.
Yeah, you're not going to get... This is a very friendly interview. A lot of softball questions.
It was very, very easy interview for her.
Very safe.
Yeah, safe
sure.
place. She was sitting there with her red dress as usual.
Yeah. There you go.
Talking about nothing, saying we got Osama bin Laden. Well, you didn't. It was another administration. It was a black guy that got him.
Yeah. Well, we don't discuss that.
No.
What they said before was that Bush laid the groundwork so he could get bin Laden.
Yeah.
It's always you gotta do that. Yeah, and I think she's just trying to rehabilitate the image, maybe, or in some sense, why it was so necessary to do what they did, and you know how they go. I mean, it's just.
I mean, they're always talking about that on 9/11, 3,000 Americans died. Yeah, but you guys are not talking about since 9/11. What happened after that? How many Americans have died since then?
Yeah.
In this stupid war.
Yeah.
A war based on lies in Iraq, for sure. Afghanistan was okay.
Yeah.
You had to go in, get it. Then we needed to get out. We're not good at nation building. Nobody is.
That's
You're not going to build nations. You needed to get a guy. You needed to go in there and get it. And Taliban's actually offered Osama bin Laden, say, we'll hand him to you if you don't attack us. And he has to go to a third country, third party.
Yeah. And what happened?
And Bush denied it.
Yeah.
He said,
we
no,
hit him ourselves.
No, we're going to come in because our buddies in MIC needs contracts.
Oh, AJ, you said it.
MIC is for military industrial complex. So.
You said it.
Yeah.
Cat's out of the bag now. But
what did they make? $6 trillion so far?
Something like that.
Yeah.
They're doing all right. They've been just fine.
I mean, just imagine that money, if would have used here, we would have, all the airports would have been replaced. I mean, not renovated, but.
Yeah. Replaced. Replaced. Well, it's taxpayer money. What do you do?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, no real revelations here in this interview. It's just same old rehashing of what we knew happened already.
Yeah. I mean, there was nothing new. She didn't offer apologies that we made mistakes. She didn't admit to any mistakes.
Yeah, nothing
It was
specific anymore.
based on lies that there was not going to be a mushroom cloud anywhere.
Nope.
Didn't admit that because of her decision, 6,000 American soldiers are dead. 25 to 30,000 soldiers injured.
Mm-hmm.
Out of those, 12, 13,000 injured permanently. They have lost a limb, eye,
Yeah.
whatever.
None of that.
PTSD, none of that. None of those things. No outrage.
Well, that's not how you rehabilitate your image. You don't say the bad things.
Yeah.
Ah,
Did you, it's to a side note, did you see Bush was in California, I think?
oh, was
he was trying to, he's on some sort of a tour also, trying to, purify his image again.
okay.
So he was on, and there was an Iraq war veteran there, and he stood up and said, "Are you going to apologize for the war?
Yikes.
Are you going to apologize for lies that you have said?" Of course, he was escorted out.
He was canceled?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was taken out.
What do you expect, right?
Yeah.
It harms the narrative. Can't have that.
No, I mean, as long as we're going to protect war criminals, that's what's going to happen. And it's going to keep on happening.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be talking about Taiwan. There'll be another president who's going to want to take on because it benefits military-industrial complex.
That's right.
They get the money. They send other people's kids to fight this war.
No
They
matter
have
the
nothing
cost.
to lose.
Nope.
No.
They don't. Everything to gain, nothing
Yep.
to lose.
Nothing to lose here.
So good for her having an easy interview like that. It's what else could you ask for, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's easiest thing you can do. So,
And she teaches at Stanford, so
yeah.
got a cush job. Well,
And she got the vote from George Bush
there you
in
go.
the last election, even though she wasn't a candidate.
Sure.
So probably the only vote she probably got, but
I suspect so.
yeah.
Well,
All right. We'll keep an eye on Miss Rice.
and Ben,
Is she still a right Miss?
unclear.
I don't know. Okay. Well, please like and subscribe, and we'll keep an eye on it.